And I see that Lana Torrey is in Property Source newspaper.
I am.
What are you writing about this time around?
I wrote about, I don't remember what I wrote about. I don't remember.
Porches?
Porches.
Yep.
Oh, I did write about porches.
See, how come I knew and you didn't?
Oh, my gosh.
You cheated.
I'm actually in the thought process of what I'm writing for my next article. And I think I'm going to write about how to get the shabby chic look for the summer. How to change, some of the accessories in your home from, heavy winter accessories, pillows, area rugs, tchotchkes that you may have on your coffee table. And then we'll give it a lighter, more reflective look for summer.
And keep that in mind, because maybe when you come back in the middle of July next month, we can talk about that here on Property Source Radio.
Oh, okay, yeah, great.
Lana Torrey joins us in the middle Wednesday, the third Saturday. Gosh, I'm so confused. On the third Saturday of every month for an hour of Property Source Radio, and she is her alter ego, as she said, Chris Marcotte from Best Tile. Going into the break, I wanted to find out some of the more bizarre places that people are tiling up. Because I'm going to tell you, I know this, and I don't know if this is a trend, but I've seen houses on both the east and west side where people put tile in their driveway.
Well,
and I saw a guy who has his name in tile. The family name.
That was probably one of my.
I was going to say that was my house.
My Italian uncle Frank.
It wasn't Italian name. I got to say, it wasn't an Italian name.
Steve, I might just interject.
Nunzio. Uncle Nunzio.
That might have been stamped concrete. Do you think it was stamped concrete where it looked like stones?
Could not tell you.
Oh, okay.
I'm the rookie around here.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
You said stamped concrete, and Steve went.
Stamped concrete.
Yeah, sorry.
What is that?
It's
Was
a
there
pattern.
a screen door over that garage?
It's a method that they used to use concrete but make it look like something else.
Might have been that.
Pattern.
Yeah.
But you can tile a garage.
Absolutely, a lot. We've had several come in lately, and a couple were for like their classic car collection.
Yeah,
which
cool.
is perfect for that because it's no dust at all, keeps it down, keeps it clean. But for anybody. It keeps the dust down. It keeps the tracking out of the house. You can hose it out, and it's perfectly.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And the porcelain, you don't have to worry about that as far as the freeze-thaw cycle and that sort of thing.
What's the cost per foot on porcelain? Just curious. I mean,
well, we have porcelain in the closeout room, say that starts at $1.99 that you could use out that.
Okay.
And it goes up to $20 a square foot, depending on the size and the shape.
And when it's in the closeout room, that means someone may have ordered it for a specific job, and this is leftover stuff.
Could be, or tile has about a 4-year life cycle. It's funny because people come in and they're like, you don't possibly have this tile, and it's something mauve and powder blue with a little tulip on it or something from 1982. And then they're so offended that it isn't made anymore, and I'm always shocked. I said, if you walked in and saw that on the shelf, you'd have a fit, but you wanted me to have it. But at any rate, it has about a 4-year life cycle.
Yeah.
And so as the manufacturers, discontinue it, we have thousands of square feet sitting in the warehouse, and then we just, we sell it off as a sort of for a sale price. So
discontinue.
Yeah, it's just a great way to pick something up. The nice thing about that, though, is that you got to buy an extra box or something so that when something does happen, because it's discontinued, you can't get it again.
Your insurance policy.
Absolutely.
I always say
stuff
when you buy
happens.
your tile, buy tile, whatever you need. Always buy a little extra so you're covered. You're what do they call that? CYA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Cover because I have
sense.
clients all the time. Oh, I put a bathroom in 1992, and my husband dropped, something heavy like his Old Spice aftershave, and and cracked a tile. Can I buy a new tile? One tile? Well, no. So buy an extra box and save yourself a lot of...
Tuck it in the basement. And then
tuck it away, mark it up, and save yourself a lot of aggravation.
And Chris, when you say 4-year shelf life, you're going to have to explain that to me. Does that mean it goes out of style
Yeah,
in 4
it sort of
years?
goes out of style because colors change. Well, we know colors change, paint changes, upholstery changes, all that sort of thing. And tile goes right in with that as far as, this year's green isn't necessarily going to be next year's green. It's maybe a little more yellow or something like that. And so when they design something, about 4 years, and it's about time to put something fresh on the shelves, and people are looking to come in and look for something new and not the same old thing, that's on the shelf and that sort of thing. So,
well, what about the classic? Now, I'm a classic kind of gal,
me too.
and I
White
love
Explain
my
it.
favorite. But I did
funny.
at my cottage when
Don't
I had my
kiss.
flood. My bathroom is white subway tile.
Yeah.
How long has it been around?
20s.
Oh.
From the 20s.
Yes, so it's sort of like you.
Did you ever watch?
Oh, man, that was a joke.
Oh, birthday girl.
We're watching the end of a relationship.
No, but it's so. I love the classic. We both love classic because you can walk into a bathroom that was possibly like your lake house, for example, that was just tiled a couple of weeks ago with white subway tile, and you can walk into a bathroom that was tiled in the 20s or 30s, and basically they both have that same classic look, which is beautiful because it's timeless. And then you don't get that walking into a room and having it date itself and look old-fashioned right away.
Old-fashioned. We hate that old-fashioned look.
Yeah, that mauve and blue or that peach and seafoam green or something that just isn't around anymore.
Give me another example of classic, because I can't get my head around the term classic. I can get my head around the tile that you're speaking of, that's timeless, for the white subway tile, but give me another example. Is it just pretty much the non-colors, in the tile? Or lack of color?
Not necessarily. All right, let's just say, for instance, I have this bathroom done in white subway tile. What would be your recommendation for the floor? Classic.
For the floor, yeah, something classic. Something, probably a solid color. Something that it's the decorative usually that dates it.
Okay.
It's the little birds and birdhouses in the border. It's that sort of thing that makes you walk in and go, "Oh, when was this done?"
Right.
Really.
But if you keep it sort of classic and simple, I think the simplicity is what people can live with, especially when you're trying to resell your house as well. They don't over personalize something, and we live in a market now where houses turn over very frequently. People just aren't living in their houses very long, and then if you go and look at a house and it's extremely personalized, with, say, they love cats, and we had a customer the other day that wanted all kittens on their backsplash of their kitchen. I said to them, if you're going to live here for 30 years, then enjoy every single minute of it. But if you think you might sell, people aren't going to want kittens, right? Not everybody wants that sort of thing. So I think staying simple, simple lines, simple colors.
KISS principle.
Yeah.
Keep the grout matching. The new trend. I don't know how new, but, fairly new. Keep the grout matching to the ground of the tile. And other new trends are very narrow toothpick joints when
That brings me
grouting.
back to my college days.
Different choice. Yeah, different choice.
Keep things in
wait till we
perspective.
start talking. We could start talking. This is a good time to start talking about crack membranes, isn't it?
We're on a bad road here. What is a crack membrane?
Oh, boy.
Oh, Chris, you.
Can I get one up the street here?
Yeah, well, you probably
Probably.
can, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, as we look out the window, I think there's somebody out there right now. But a crack membrane is just something you put down, like if you're going to tile over your concrete patio. And it isolates the cracks below so that your tile doesn't crack above. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Phew, thank God it wasn't that rough.
It's not nearly as bad as you think it might be.
Spend the night in the county jail.
Now, you mentioned people who have outdated bathrooms and stuff with borders, and oftentimes there are patterns, like kittens or birds or something. I've noticed a lot now. They have the patterns will be look like braided rope, and people will put that up. Is that something that could become dated, or is that something? Would that be
It's very
considered a
classic,
classic?
actually.
Classic.
Oh, my
It's
parents
in
put
forever.
It is. It's like architecture on a building. You see those braids and those
Yes.
ropes and those columns and that sort of
Yes,
thing on buildings.
absolutely. Egg and dart, very popular. Chair rail molding in tile.
Absolutely.
It's so awesome. There are so many new designs in tile. It's almost impossible to. Well, it is impossible to talk about it all, but there is tile that looks like hardwood floors.
Wood. Absolutely. You cannot
Really?
determine
so
that it's
cool.
wood or
Wow.
not without touching it.
Why would
can't
you
tell.
do that? Why don't you just get a hardwood
So
floor?
if you have dogs with claws, for example, if
absolutely.
you're in a bar
He comes
situation.
with all the answers. He
This
just
is
is right there
Yeah,
with that
absolutely.
one.
I mean, it's just perfect. People have big dogs that run to the door every time
That's good.
somebody comes home, and they leave that
And they-
trail of claw marks in the wood. This
Yep.
this is indestructible. Or in a bar, or in your garage, you could have your garage tile to look like hardwood floor. That would be pretty
That would be
That
amazing
is
for
really
a
cool.
classic
That would be
car
pretty
collection,
cool.
say, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, if I tiled my garage, I don't have a garage, I have a barn. But if I were to tile it, I think I would do like a checkerboard, kind of like NASCAR.
With kids.
Yeah.
a
I'm a
NASCAR
dog. I'm a dog
checkered
girl.
barn.
Like a black and white. Wouldn't
Like
that be
black
cool?
and white
Right, that would be
checkerboard.
awesome.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't that be cute?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris, where's Best Tile? We have to wrap
We're
up
on
this
Empire
segment. I wanna
Boulevard.
find
We're
out.
right next to Dan's Crafts and Things, which is an old craft place that's been in town.
You know,
for
the
years
thing I
and years.
like about
Yeah.
Dan's Crafts and Things is the things. I always go to the things
That's
section.
Is that like the Beyond section
Yeah,
of
the
Bed Bath and
Beyond-
Beyond?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
the favorite.
Right. The things. It's all about the things, right?
And if people want to see you specifically, you're there all the time?
Yeah, every waking
No.
second of my life.
Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He sleeps in the back room on the old tile.
Yes, he does. Chris, thanks for joining us. It was
Oh,
great having you
welcome.
here.
It was nice.
You're welcome back.
Absolutely.
You just added. You two are just perfect together. I gotta say.
aren't
I
we?
gotta say.
My yin to my yang.
It's very entertaining.
Your yin to
Yeah,
your
somebody's
yang.
Well, work on your yings and your yangs. We take a quick break here. Lonnie, you'll stick around. We have one more
I
segment
will.
on Property Source Radio. Pat has a couple of interesting things he wants to bring up. One about his dehumidifier.
Yep.
And what's the other thing you wanted to talk about?
The trimming the shrubs.
Okay. That's all coming up. Stay with us till 10. That's when we'll get back to ESPN Radio. This is a Property Source Radio. Sports Radio 950 ESPN.